What's going on, guys? This is my first time going live on YouTube. This is my first time going live on YouTube, so you guys can bear with me. I'm on the road right now. I know it's completely random. My screen's a little fuzzy. I don't like that. I could get a new camera or whatnot. I'm on the road right now. This is my first time trying it out. It's a new year, so I want to try some new things. Apologize about the big, crazy looking microphone. Maybe I can move that a little bit. I got it on this little table here. Well, I could just leave it here for the first episode, right? It's not going to be that bad. We'll just put it here. How about that? There we go. Let's bring it a little bit close. Anyway, I don't cut my head off too bad. So anyway, this is my first time live. I know I titled it for the first time tax refund. There we go. I'm just looking at the group message here. But anyway, this is my first time trying it. I'm just jumping out there doing it, and it'll turn into a YouTube video anyway. So a big question I always get, people always ask me about, this upcoming season with tax refunds and stuff like that. And, a lot of people are going to get tax refunds, people waiting on their W-2s or whatnot. And some people want to get started with the market and started investing and stuff like that. So that's what I kind of named this live, to talk about that. I think that's pretty cool, right? But anyway, so if you get your tax refund, people always say, hey, what should I buy? Hey, I'm Prince. I'm ready. I got my money now. I'm ready to invest. What should I do? So the first thing I always tell people is that if you haven't seen my other episodes, if you haven't tuned into my podcast, if you haven't heard me say this before, it all depends on you. It's no cookie cutter approach to everybody. For prime example, someone who may have their tax refund, they may, hey, I have a 2-year-old son, a daughter, 3, 4, 5-year-old daughter that I want to invest for 5, 10, 20 years down the line. They have a different objective than the person who's 17 years old or 18 years old, who's, I don't know, living with their parents, maybe out on their own or whatever the case may be, and they're looking to make a quick return or whatever the case may be. So with that being said, they have two different goals and objective. One is long term. Someone is looking for 10, 15 years with the child. Someone else is looking for 10 or 15 days. So with that being said, they have two different objectives. Sorry, my mouse making noise. My microphone is pretty good. So they have two different objectives. So then on top of that, both of them have two different risk levels. Someone who's like, hey, I have some money now. I don't care how much I lose or how much I make. I just want to make some money. They got a whole different objective than someone who's looking to invest maybe for a year or two with their kids. So a lot of people may ask, so that's the first thing you got to ask yourself is, what is your goals? What is your objective? You're looking to get in something quick, fast, and in a hurry. Then you can look at some stuff like some of your technology stocks. You can look at get into option trading. You can look at get into Forex. You can look into penny stocks, very high volatile stocks that can move up or down, or options and stuff like that. You can make money fast and you can lose money fast. So it's just like anything else, it takes time to build. Another thing is, if you're someone who's going long term, you may looking to get into a blue chip stock, something that's big and quote unquote safe, like a GE, one of the oldest stock on the stock market ever. So you may be looking to get at something like that in a GE. Another thing you may want to consider is, you may want to say, hey, I'm starting investing. I haven't done anything with investing. Prince, I checked out your book. I heard you on the podcast. I'm missing this piece of my life. I want to start investing. How do I start doing that? First thing you can do is start looking at the things you spend your money on. That's rule number one. Number two, look at things that you know about. Your phone bill, your job, where you work at, and stuff like that, or whatever. Contracts, stuff that you know. Start with things that you know and things that you spend your money on. Then you start to do fundamental research and all the good stuff like that. What's another thing? Then on top of that, you say, man, I don't have time to sit here and pick stocks. I don't have time to sit here and try to figure out what's going on or whatever the case may be. But you may look at it and say, with that being said, you may look at it and say, hey, I may just want to jump into the index, which is a Warren Buffett style way of investing, which is a Tony Robbins style of investing. And it's a lot of other people out there. They just say, hey, well, they're not the only ones, but those are the big books that I know that are out there in finance that kind of speak on that way of talking. When I have plenty of videos right here on this YouTube channel where you can go and look up certain things like that. Not certain things like that, but you can see right here how you can buy the index. And when you buy the index, you buy it every single month, every single week. You just buy it. You don't care if the market goes up, down, sideways, whatever the case may be. You just continuously buy it, continuously buy it, continuously buy it, and stuff like that. So that's another thing you can think of. Pay it like a bill. You can be, and you know that goes into dollar cost averaging and stuff like that. I don't want to get too deep in it, but I got a video on dollar cost averaging, what it is and stuff like that, and I draw it out. So maybe you're someone that just say, I want to get into investing. I don't know what's going on. I want to get the index. And the thing about an index is you get a bunch of stocks, not like a mutual fund. You have a bunch of stocks in a mutual fund as well, but a mutual fund in most cases are actively managed, whereas the index is passively managed. Active is exactly what it means. If somebody's going in there, a fund manager's trying to match what they're trying to match whatever their goal or objective for their mutual fund is. Versus the index, it's just going to track whatever index you have, which are the three major indexes, which are the Dow Jones, NASDAQ, and the S&P 500. S&P 500 being the most notable one in finance because it tracks 500. The NASDAQ only tracks 100, and the Dow Jones only tracks 30. So it tracks a broad base of companies. So you may just can say, hey, I get the top 500 companies in America. I just buy it over and over, and then I have my dividends reinvested. I don't pay attention to it. Every 2 weeks, I go in, I hit the buy button, or I can set it to automatically buy, transfer my money over there, and invest my money that way, or for my kids, or whatever the case you may do. You want to do it for your kids, it's simple and easy. You do the exact same thing. The only difference is you just put it in a custodian account. Those are ways you can start to invest. Now, if you're a new person that's coming on the block, one of the big industries right now, the hottest talk on the market is weed stocks. This huge big industry is ready to explode, right on the verge of legislation. I would say in probably about 5 to 10 years, people will be smoking weed all over the place. It won't be, we'll be buying weed like cigarettes. That's my opinion. I'm not a politician or nothing like that, not giving what's right, wrong. I don't know about it going crazy about that type of stuff. So anyway, that's the outlook on marijuana. But the only issue with the marijuana stocks is it's just like anything, like social media itself is $1 billion industry, right? But we all know inside of the social media world, it's only like 1 or 2 companies that I can think of off the top of my head. I don't want to speak ignorantly about another industry, but you know, you got your Facebooks, you got your Snapchats. I know YouTube can kind of be considered that as well. But the thing with the point I'm making is that you only have a few big juggernauts that are in that space. So when I look at marijuana stocks, I look at the industry, you're going to have growers, you're going to have manufacturers, you're going to have retailers, you're going to have people that's going to fix the stuff up, whatever the case may be. It's all these different layers of what people are going to do inside this industry. My question is, who's going to reign supreme? Who's going to be the company? Who's going to be the company that's going to take over the whole industry? That's what I'm concerned about right now. I'm not concerned about somebody who's going to take the if the industry is going to be good or how can I profit on it. I'm kind of wondering like which companies, there's a bunch of them out there right now. Some of them ran up pretty good or that's going to take over. So for me, for prime example, one of the things that I noticed last year with marijuana stocks was I had MGNA a long time ago, and it was about 20 cents. Then it dropped down because we was hoping hit that whole marijuana verge. Then legislation didn't happen, and then about 3-4 months ago, with Trump coming in office and policies getting pushed, and with the big election, a lot of states did vote to legalize marijuana. You've seen the marijuana stocks make a nice little run. When I look at the industry as a whole, yes, somebody's going to make that money. Somebody has to make the money. My question is, what company is going to reign supreme, are going to be in the top 3 within that industry? So it's a lot of them out there right now. A lot of them are penny stocks. Some of them are blue chip, which are more safe. But that could be something that could be a field that could be coming wide open if you're looking to invest and you're on the risky side of the house. Now, I want to put a disclaimer out there. I'm not telling anybody go buy this, go buy that, or I'm not endorsed or sponsored by anybody, nothing like that. I'm just speaking off of personal opinion. Another industry, drones. I don't know if you saw that on my Facebook page, Royal Financial Investment Group, but drones. I think that drones are once they regulate with the what is the government regulation for flights? It's not FCC, FAA. Yeah, when they regulate, FAA figure out like, hey, how you're going to fly these drones, because we just can't throw a million drones up in the sky and have people fly them. It has to be a regulation. You can't fly them this high. You can't fly them this low. You can't fly them at night. You can't fly them during the day. But I think once they regulate that out, I think that postal services and the Amazons, especially since they're so driven by mailing out and stuff like that, they could be a wide open industry that could be coming along the way as well. So what else I wanted to talk about? Yeah, those are things that if you got your refund, I just see up here my batteries get ready to die on my laptop, but it's my first time going live. Let me guys know what you think of it or whatever. So to the next video, guys already know what to do. Peace, be safe, and I'm out.